Tony and those guys have worked their way back to the front to be able to capitalize on track position.
Casey Kane, Juan Pablo Montoya, little contact there off the corner, and look at Dale Jr. right behind. He's back in the top 10.
Yeah, watch 88 will just pull out and pass both these guys. Actually, probably all three of these guys here.
Clear. 88 coming quick inside.
Told you Ryan Newman starting to circle back to the front. Working on Brian Vickers here for fourth. And the gap closing at the front as well as Newman picks up a position. His Stewart-Haas teammate and owner, the boss, Tony Stewart, starting to smell the race lead once again. He has closed down the advantage that Kurt Busch enjoyed. Smoke has already led 25 laps today.
He really makes good time through the center of the corner.
Yeah, he was the other car that I thought was the best here.
Really rolls good. You watch him roll in right here and right here. You see him pick up about a half a car length on Kurt right there. Gets it pointed straight and can get back to the gas quick.
Talked about Ryan Newman starting to put things together for the late stages of the race, Marty.
Yeah, Adam, he's trying to get back to the front and using his teammate Tony Stewart, as you guys mentioned, with a couple of picks to get back to the front. The problem with Ryan all day long has been the fact that in the battle for the lead. How about that, Adam?
Right on cue, his teammate Tony Stewart to the inside of Kurt Busch. No problems completing the pass, Marty.
Oh, wreck down.
Big trouble, front straightaway. That's Brian Vickers, who looked like he got a piece of the wall. Jimmy Johnson able to drive through behind. He was back there after having to make that second trip down pit road. Vickers spent a lot of today inside the top 10, was running 22nd when he got the wall here. And now we take a look at what happened.
He's down on the flat right there. Oh,
teammates.
Yeah, they just, that's a hard one. I mean, there was no, he's on the inside. Maybe,
I think Casey just ran. Well, Casey just looked like he ran out of. Casey really had the 36 up on the high side right there, and he was already leaning on the 36.
Yeah, Casey's trying to get off the 36, and I don't know how you could, not like you could do there. You know what I mean?
Mark Martin has gotten the free pass 2 cautions in a row, and he is now back on the lead lap after being 2 laps in arrears. Back under green, Clint Boyer and Ryan Newman on the front row. Fresher tires for Newman in that outside lane. See if he can make it stick going into turn 3.
Good corner.
Jeff Burton making a move on former teammate Greg Biffle.
Okay, now the way you guys see it is that all these guys have to stop for fuel one more time, correct? Like the top 14, top 15
now, Marty
guys?
told us during the break that Ryan Newman, with that last caution, was 3 laps short on fuel. So one more caution may do it. Larry, do your numbers add up to the same as some of these guys?
Well, a driver that I'm watching right now is that 22 car of Kurt Busch. He was last on pit road at lap 217, which was 83 laps to go. He also, at that same time, took 4 fresh tires, so we know he's good on rubber. As we've seen many times this year, the Dodges seem to get better fuel mileage than anybody, and I go back to a conversation we had during break. For every 2 caution laps, that's like 1 green lap. So I think one more caution actually is going to buy a lot of these drivers the ability to get to the end, in particular Kurt Busch. JJ comes here, he stands in for Quapple in this car, and this is a team that's fighting to stay in the top 35 in points. Here he is sitting back in the 13th, 14th position right now. Great run when you consider we only have 60 laps to go.
In trouble, Jimmy Johnson, the 5-time champion, turns around, 10th yellow flag of the day. And this is going to help everybody that wants to save fuel.
I think a lot of them are going to be in.
And how about we start with the guy who's running in the second spot. Greg Biffle in, so is Jeff Burton, Chris.
Jeff Burton going to do 2 tires and fuel. They were going to be 7 laps short, so they didn't think that they were going to get the 15 laps of caution that they would need. Also the 33 in. Ralph?
Matt Fuchsia getting right into the strategy early on here, showing his stuff as the new crew chief for the 16. He said, just put fuel in it, guys. Let's save that last set of right side tires for later if we need it, Marty.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. pits, giving up a top 10 position. He said it's just chattering the right rear of the car the entire time. He said we can't get the balance exactly like I want. A wedge adjustment, trying to tighten that car up. 2 tires for Jr.
On the front row, Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch. Those two have led the most laps in the race today. Green flag goes back in the air with 57 laps to go here at New Hampshire. That penalty for Dale Earnhardt Jr. tail end of the longest line. He's back in 33rd now. As we got 4 cars you could throw a blanket over at the front of the field. And Denny Hamlin been quiet today, but he's up to 3rd here with just a handful of laps to go, Marty.
His run back to the front wasn't very quiet, Adam. He was moving up through the field. He's a little bit of left rear damage. That's it. Chassis wasn't really affected for Denny Hamlin. They are about 5 laps short before that last caution on fuel. Mike Ford told him, once we go green, I'll give you a fuel number. But Denny said, it's hard to save fuel here. You're single file. Everybody's running the same speed, so there's really no opportunities here to save fuel, Adam, but they'll probably be about 3 laps short.
All right, but they just told the 99 and 11 to start saving a little bit. We're 3 short. He's back down to 30-20s. You're in a 30-17, and the leaders are 30-41. He's saving fuel, too. Yeah, if you can try to pass him and then start saving, that'd be cool.
Well, he last pitted on lap 217, just like Ryan Newman and like Denny Hamlin, and that would be with 84 laps to go. But what they all have going in their favor, since they pitted, there's been 15 cautions. And I keep going back to the formula at a 1-mile racetrack. For every 2 cautions, it's equal to 1 green or vice versa. So I truly believe these guys are going to be in good shape here unless we have that green-white checkered.
Jimmy Johnson up to 8th, and that's Casey Kane. Actually, it's Casey Kane in 9th. In 8th, Jimmy in 9th as they race for position inside the top 10. And now time to answer today's KFC trivia question. Who holds the record for most and fewest laps led by a New Hampshire winner? And of course, they're in separate races.
Oh, separate races.
Yeah,
same
guy led the most and least laps in 2 separate races, and that would be Jeff Burton. Yeah, 2000. He led 300 laps, all of them, and
that was
1 year earlier
race.
Led only 2 laps in going to victory.
You couldn't pass anybody that
was
year.
One of the nicest NASCAR races of all time.
3 laps to go. This time by for Ryan Newman. And McMurray now out of gas. He makes his pit stop. Newman halfway down the back straightaway. 2.5 laps to go.
Stewart doesn't want to get real close to his teammate, I don't think, right now. You want to be real careful that guy doesn't run out of fuel when you're right behind him.
Right in, yes. But, you know, he is closed up. Ryan has done a great job these last 2 or 3 laps working his way through that traffic, because I'm telling you, he caught that traffic in the worst place he could have caught it, and he really didn't lose anything to Tony. He was patient and worked it, and he made Tony work it the same way in the corners, not down the straightaway.
Last win for Ryan Newman on the flat mile in Phoenix. It came last April, and it was an emotional win for him, helping Tony Stewart to victory lane at Stewart-Haas. The 42 of Juan Pablo Montoya out of gas as the white flag goes in the air. Ryan Newman going to try and hold it together for one more circuit. I'm nervous up here just watching him trying to hang on.
Yeah, you know, you hate to see somebody run like this, and we've seen it so many times over this year and last year. Somebody lead this long in the race and then run out of gas right here as they go to the gas in the middle of the corner.
Ryan Newman has had the dominant car statistically. Off at turn 4, checkered flag goes in the air. 15th career win for Ryan Newman, and right behind him, his teammate. 1-2 finish for Stewart-Haas.
Way to go, race team! That's what you call it, baby! Way to go, guys! You
You saved it, baby. That was it.
Look at all these guys running out of gas. Both the Penske cars out of fuel coming off of 4.